The serial rapist Zhao Qiang couldn't resist the bait of beauty and fell right into the trap I had deliberately set for him. Coupled with the testimony of witness Sun Qian, he was certain to spend the rest of his life in prison. But at the trial, the sole witness, Sun Qian, unexpectedly failed to appear, catching me completely off guard. The scene that followed stunned everyone. Sun Qian, defying her family's advice, insisted on marrying Zhao Qiang. This act allowed the rapist Zhao Qiang to walk free. Not long after, Zhao Qiang stood in a hospital, perfectly, rationally, and legally authorizing the doctors to remove Sun Qian's breathing tube. Early one morning, just as I arrived at work, a young woman wearing large sunglasses came to the police station alone. She sat across from me, her hands trembling uncontrollably. Clearly, what she was about to say had caused her immense trauma.
You're listening to a story on Hecate
Instead,
Audio.
I stood up, poured a cup of warm water, and placed it in front of her. She took several quick gulps, trying to steady herself. I didn't rush her, just taking a lens cloth from my drawer to polish the police insignia on my cap. After much hesitation, the woman finally summoned her courage. She stood up, leaning forward slightly. "Officer, I want to report that I was broken into and raped last night." After speaking, as if a great burden had been lifted, she collapsed back into the chair. I didn't jump into the details. I refilled her water and found a female officer, thinking she might feel more comfortable. According to her account, the perpetrator was about 30, around 175 centimeters tall, with a strong, muscular build, but no other distinct features. He wore a mask during the assault, so she couldn't see his face. After taking her statement, I arranged for the female officer to take her to the nearest gynecological hospital to see if any evidence could be collected. I took the woman's house keys and went with several plainclothes colleagues to survey the scene. The criminal was extremely meticulous. No bodily fluids, hair, or fingerprints were left at the scene or on the victim. During the medical exam, the victim provided a crucial clue. The suspect smelled of disinfectant. Disinfectant. Could the suspect be a medical worker? In the following days, we received 2 more reports of break-in rapes, both involving young women living alone. The attacker always wore a black mask, smelled of disinfectant, and matched the first victim's description. Most rape victims harbor deep anxieties and often choose to stay silent. This implied there were likely more victims who hadn't come forward. Catching this criminal was imperative and could not be delayed. Rente City, a megalopolis of over 20 million people, with hundreds of hospitals and clinics employing over 200,000 medical staff. Finding one person among them was like finding a needle in a haystack. We couldn't give up. We decided to start with the victims. All 3 lived alone. So how did the suspect know? We investigated their professions, looking for a common thread. They were an office worker, a company receptionist, and a corporate technician. Their occupations had no overlap. This ruled out colleagues, clients, or acquaintances. All 3, without exception, had striking figures and beautiful features. In their free time, besides shopping, they went to the gym. No bad habits, no association with unsavory people. The gym? That was the common link. We began investigating the gyms they frequented. To avoid alerting the suspect, I contacted the Safety Supervision Bureau first. With their cooperation, we investigated the gyms. The investigation revealed they didn't belong to the same club, and the gym trainers didn't moonlight elsewhere. We checked members who were medical staff. None matched the profile. Neither the trainers nor the members smelled of disinfectant. The lead went cold. Disinfectant strongly suggested a hospital. Our investigation showed only one of the 3 had recently been to a hospital, and only to accompany a friend. Her friend was also single, lived alone, and was beautiful. Why hadn't she been targeted? Why? We took this question to the hospital. We pulled all the medical staff records. Only 5 matched the criteria. In private interviews, all had solid alibis. We were forced to widen the net to all hospital employees. This yielded more potential matches. But the investigation still turned up nothing. The case stalled, only for another attack to occur. This victim was highly vigilant and fought back fiercely. The suspect failed and fled in panic. She provided a useful piece of information. During the struggle, she had scratched the suspect's waist. Unfortunately, she didn't see his face. We confirmed he still smelled of disinfectant. If the suspect didn't work in a hospital, what profession smelled of disinfectant? As I left the victim's house, I noticed something on the doorframe. That's right, burglars often case a place first, leaving marks on the door. For example, an O for a wealthy family, an O with an X for no money, a rectangle with a triangle for an alarm system, a D for too dangerous, an X for someone home during the day and back on time at night. Could this be a mark left by the suspect? At this thought, I quickly pulled out my phone and turned on the flashlight. Upon inspection, the scratch was the English letter C. Was it really left by the suspect? To verify, I rushed to the other victims' homes. Sure enough, similar marks were on their doors. Who was this suspect, able to grasp the victim's situations so easily? 2 delivery drivers passed us. How could we have missed them? The suspect was likely a courier or a food delivery driver. Only they would have the opportunity to know the victim's routines. Finding one person among thousands of drivers seemed impossible, but it was really just a few button clicks. A dozen platforms had operations in the area. We investigated them one by one. Hundreds matched the criteria, eventually narrowed down to over 100. However, none of them smelled of disinfectant. None of them. So where was he? Had he vanished into thin air? We didn't give up and expanded the search radius, but still found nothing. Just as morale hit rock bottom, the case took a turn. Leaving work, I passed a swimming pool. Realizing I hadn't swum in ages, I went home, grabbed my trunks and cap, and headed over. The blue water of the pool hit my eyes, and with it, the overwhelming smell of disinfectant. I froze. Could the suspect be? I didn't dare think further. I waved over an idle lifeguard. Seeing me, he hurried over. Sir, how can I help? I just wanted to ask. Is the pay good here? Seeing his awkwardness, I quickly joked. Don't mind me, just making small talk. The lifeguard, seeing I just wanted to chat and the pool was empty, started talking. He covered salary structures, how pools are leased, and how one boss rents several pools at once. I nodded along, listening, while smelling the disinfectant on him. In this environment, the smell wasn't overpowering, but away from the pool, it would be distinct. I lost all desire to swim and went to the locker room for my phone. I reported this crucial discovery to my colleagues. They immediately contacted the 4 victims. Sure enough, all 4 had experience swimming. We zeroed in on the 3 pools they frequented. The investigation showed all 3 pools belonged to the same owner. This serial rapist was very likely hiding within that company. To avoid tipping him off, we posed as Safety Supervision Bureau staff to conduct a field survey. We successfully obtained all records for the swimming instructors and lifeguards. After screening and cross-referencing, the target was finally locked onto a man named Zhao Qiang. Whether by age or build, Zhao Qiang was a near-perfect match for the rapist. Furthermore, he had worked at all 3 pools. He met every condition. It was impossible not to be suspicious. To ensure no mistakes, we arranged for a female officer named Yu Han to go undercover at the pool where Zhao Qiang worked. She received special training for this. For several days, Yu Han didn't see Zhao Qiang. Inquiries revealed he had taken leave. It was peak season for the pool. Zhao Qiang suddenly taking leave at this time, sacrificing significant income, was abnormal. The rapist had a wound. If Zhao Qiang took leave for an injury, it made perfect sense. We devised a plan. Have the company recall him. Citing production safety, though a routine action, it made Zhao Qiang suspicious. He used the opportunity to ask about the pool, probing to see if anything unusual was happening. A colleague gossiped, whispering that a beautiful girl had recently started coming to the pool, though her relationship status was unknown. Hearing this, Zhao Qiang's excitement immediately flared, and all other concerns were tossed aside. Yu Han didn't break routine just because Zhao Qiang appeared. She stuck to her schedule, swimming on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evenings. Zhao Qiang was ecstatic to see her. He found an excuse to send his colleague away and approached her himself, offering professional advice on her swimming posture. As an inexperienced college student, Yu Han spoke freely, revealing everything. She complained to Zhao Qiang about her stingy boss refusing overtime pay and her long-distance boyfriend who couldn't care for her. She treated Zhao Qiang like a sympathetic older brother, pouring her heart out. Zhao Qiang paid close attention, skillfully fishing for her address. Investigators discovered Zhao Qiang sometimes wore a delivery uniform to deliver food, clearly filling in for someone temporarily. Further surveillance revealed he was covering for his cousin. No wonder I couldn't find him in the delivery staff lists. And then came the stunning discovery. Zhao Qiang had appeared at Yu Han's apartment. It seemed the prey was about to take the bait. When Yu Han discovered the letter C marked on her door, we knew it was time to pull in the net. Rain poured that night. Around midnight, a shadowy figure crept up to Yu Han's door. The moment he breached the security door, we swarmed in. The criminal, seeing he was trapped, didn't hesitate for a second, leaping straight down from the second floor. As he hit the ground, he tucked into a forward roll, sprang back to his feet, and kept running. His movements were lightning fast. In just a few steps, he reached the complex gate. In the blink of an eye, he scaled the wall and landed lightly on the other side. He thought he had escaped, inwardly celebrating, only to be struck down by a blow to the head and knocked unconscious. We had successfully arrested Zhao Qiang as he was preparing to commit his next crime. When he opened his eyes again, he was in an interrogation room. Faced with our questions, he refused to answer. Soon, his lawyer arrived. With his lawyer present, he admitted to planning a burglary but completely denied any intent to rape. I hadn't even gotten through the door. What makes you think I had any ill intent? Besides, I don't even know if a man or a woman lives in there. This time, he wasn't wearing a mask. But he had only just opened the security door. We couldn't pin him with attempted rape. Furthermore, the scratch on his waist had already scarred over. Useless for testing. Just as frustration set in, good news arrived. Hearing the serial rapist Zhao Qiang had been caught, the victim Sun Qian, accompanied by her parents, came to the station. She had met Zhao Qiang before and had been too afraid of retaliation to report him. If Sun Qian testified, we would have enough evidence to convict Zhao Qiang. But just as our confidence peaked, disaster struck again. At the trial, Sun Qian failed to appear as expected. Zhao Qiang stood in the defendant's box, a smug look on his face, as if everything was under his control. We frantically tried to contact Sun Qian, but her phone was off. The worst had happened. Sun Qian would not testify. The rape case against Zhao Qiang was dropped for lack of evidence. As for the burglary charge, since no actual loss occurred, he was sentenced to 6 months. Such a light sentence was a joke. Zhao Qiang had successfully evaded justice. I watched his self-satisfied expression, seething with rage but utterly helpless. After leaving the court, I contacted Sun Qian's parents. They were hesitant to see me, but finally agreed after my persistent requests. Sun Qian's mother was in tears, her father clutching his chest in anger. After much pressing, they revealed the truth. Zhao Qiang's family had proposed marriage, and Sun Qian, with her hopelessly romantic mind, had actually agreed. I am a police officer. Punishing evil and promoting good is my duty. Undeniably, I wanted to close the case. To be commended, I deal with criminals daily. What kind of evil haven't I seen? The wickedness of men like him is beyond the imagination of ordinary people like Sun Qian. I listed several cases. Her parents nodded frantically. But whether any of it would get through to Sun Qian was hard to say, as we hadn't even seen her. After Zhao Qiang's release, he married Sun Qian. Not a single friend or family member from the bride's side attended. Her parents and relatives felt she was a lost cause and cut off all ties. Her friends, believing she couldn't distinguish right from wrong, wanted nothing to do with someone who would choose such a person. Her employer, understanding the situation, found a trivial reason to fire her, though they paid her full compensation. Sun Qian still wanted to work, oblivious that she was now blacklisted in her industry, unlikely to find a suitable job again. She thought she had a man to support her. She was wrong, devastatingly wrong. After the marriage, Zhao Qiang became lazy and greedy, demanding money from Sun Qian, the slightest displeasure, and he would curse and beat her. Beatings every 2 or 3 days became routine. Sun Qian was consumed by regret, left with no choice but to swallow her pride and run back to her parents. But her father had been angered by her to the point of hospitalization. She could return, but only if she divorced Zhao Qiang. Sun Qian verbally agreed, but the moment Zhao Qiang cooed sweet nothings, she went right back with him. This happened several times, leaving her parents utterly defeated. One day, Zhao Qiang, drunk, beat her more severely. Only then did Sun Qian finally snap, hurling bitter words before fleeing back home. Zhao Qiang wasn't stupid. If they divorced, what if Sun Qian reported the rape? He'd go to prison. Besides, hadn't he married her precisely to keep her mouth shut? When they married, her parents had demanded a sky-high bride price. If they divorced, he'd lose both the woman and the money. At this thought, a murderous glint flashed in Zhao Qiang's eyes. He ran to his in-laws' house with expensive gifts, knelt before Sun Qian in front of everyone, swearing to the heavens, repenting his sins. Sun Qian, once again, believed his honeyed words. Ignoring her parents' protests, she happily returned with him. Zhao Qiang truly acted like a changed man, just as he'd promised. Sun Qian believed a prodigal son's return was more precious than gold. That her suffering was finally over. The result was tragedy. That day, Sun Qian was on her way to the market as usual when she accidentally missed a step and fell. When her parents heard the news, they assumed Zhao Qiang had murdered her and immediately called the police. As the investigator, I arrived at the scene. As you can imagine, it was already contaminated, forensically useless. Though I knew Zhao Qiang had done it intentionally, we had no proof and could only close the case perfunctorily. Sun Qian had a strong will to live. She didn't die but was left in a vegetative state. Zhao Qiang claimed poverty, forcing her parents to pay the medical bills. They refused. He pushed her. So why should they pay? Seeing he couldn't squeeze any more from her parents, Zhao Qiang decided Sun Qian had no more value. He then did something beyond anyone's imagination. Without seeking permission from Sun Qian's parents, he ordered the doctors to remove her breathing tube, using the excuse of letting her die with dignity. Legally, he had this right. It wasn't a crime. Morally, it was an offense against heaven. Sun Qian's parents only found out when she was being cremated. They stormed the funeral home with a large group. The tension between the two sides stretched taut like a string, creating a chaotic scene. The cremation was done. Sun Qian's parents just wanted the ashes as a keepsake and were willing to let the rest go. Zhao Qiang thought otherwise. He shamelessly declared, alive, she was a Zhao, dead. She is a Zhao ghost. Clearly angling for money. Her parents wanted a clean break. If he wanted money, fine. Unexpectedly, Zhao Qiang demanded an exorbitant sum, 600,000. Her parents, naturally, refused, making a bitter threat in front of everyone. If Zhao Qiang didn't agree today, they would post his name and his history as a serial rapist online. Even if it meant going to jail themselves. This mutual destruction tactic terrified Zhao Qiang. He happily saved on funeral costs. What he didn't expect was that Sun Qian's parents broke their promise anyway, posting the entire story of him and Sun Qian online. Faced with the internet's fury, Zhao Qiang's mental defenses crumbled. Fearing the worst, he moved out overnight. One thing infuriated him: when he paid the bride price, Sun Qian had promised to bring it into their new home. Checking his assets, he discovered she had secretly given all the money back to her parents. Old hatred piled on new, and Zhao Qiang stormed their door. Sun Qian's parents weren't to be trifled with either. The moment they met, they doused him with a basin of boiling water. Zhao Qiang endured the searing pain and fought back. Her parents seized the opportunity to fall to the ground while simultaneously calling the police. Seeing the situation turn against him, Zhao Qiang fled. He needed a doctor. What he didn't expect was that while he was being treated at the hospital, the police, having been alerted, arrived and arrested him on the spot. Disturbing public order, assaulting the elderly, the facts were clear. The evidence solid. Zhao Qiang was detained. He assumed it was nothing major. Besides, he was a victim too. Sun Qian's parents began live streaming, posting all of Zhao Qiang's deeds online. In the detention center, when the other inmates learned Zhao Qiang was a rapist, his nightmare began. He was tormented daily, unable to eat or sleep, forced to clean the toilets. Helpless, he offered a settlement, but Sun Qian's parents refused. Left with no choice, he grit his teeth and paid 200,000 before they finally dropped the matter. The reason they let him go wasn't the money, but because his current offense wasn't serious enough to keep him locked up for long. Accepting the settlement was a reluctant compromise. Zhao Qiang knew he'd been played, hating them down to his bones. But he was powerless against Sun Qian's parents. The peace lasted only a few days before something else happened. Sun Qian's parents were driving when their brakes failed, nearly causing a terrible accident. A quick check revealed the shocking truth: someone had tampered with their car. They immediately reported it, their target obvious, Zhao Qiang. After receiving the report, I brought Zhao Qiang in for questioning. He couldn't defend himself and was charged with attempted murder. But before that wave settled, another one rose. Zhao Qiang was in a traffic accident. Zhao Qiang, despite his wickedness, was incredibly disciplined. He went jogging every night at the same time, rain or shine. That evening, it was drizzling, but he persisted. At a bend not far from his home, he was struck by a car. His luck was truly astounding. He only suffered a few broken bones. The driver didn't flee, but stopped and called the police. The driver who caused the accident reeked of alcohol. The police didn't hesitate, cuffing them on the spot. Zhao Qiang cursed his luck, already planning to extort a hefty sum from the driver. But what shattered his composure was the driver's identity. It was Sun Qian's mother, his former mother-in-law. Drunk driving resulting in death wasn't a capital offense. It was obvious they wanted him dead. This was attempted murder. What crushed his spirit completely was that ever since his scandal broke online, no lawyer dared to take his case. This time was no different. Conversely, Sun Qian's parents were surrounded by pro bono lawyers, top-tier ones at that. How could he possibly win? The internet was ablaze with the story. Zhao Qiang requested a closed trial, but the court flatly denied it. Everyone understood the subtext. The old couple wasn't innocent. So why were they relentlessly pursuing him? His lawyer advised him to drop the suit. Zhao Qiang didn't want to swallow this silent loss. But public opinion was too overwhelming. Drunk driving was a public menace. His former mother-in-law was still sentenced to 6 months. However, considering her confession and the mitigating circumstances, the sentence was suspended for 1 year. Zhao Qiang wasn't without supporters. An online fan group cheered him on. The group had several hundred members, all of whom worshipped Zhao Qiang like a god. Among them, a girl named Hecate caught his eye. Hecate didn't just cheer, she actively donated money to him. She quit her high-paying job and moved to his city, Rente, just to start over near him. It was classic fanatic behavior. What intrigued Zhao Qiang was her image: sweet, innocent, exactly his type. When he learned Hecate was in Rente, he grew restless. The incident with the undercover cop at the pool still haunted him. If he hadn't successfully married Sun Qian, he'd be rotting in jail. Caution was paramount. He decided to wait. Hecate never initiated contact, instead filling her social feed with photos of scenic spots and gourmet food. Like a travel blogger, yet, she continued her unwavering support. People in the group teased, hoping Zhao Qiang would conquer Hecate. Hecate never got angry, merely playing the part of a pure, innocent girl, inspiring sympathy. Zhao Qiang decided to test the waters and asked Hecate out. Bad timing, she was leaving on a business trip. The next day, she posted photos of local delicacies. Locals in the fan group extended invitations, all of which she politely declined. Someone teased in the group that only Brother Qiang could win her over. Fueled by the online hype, Zhao Qiang's desire to conquer her intensified. Another week passed. Hecate finally returned from her trip and had time to meet. They agreed on the Lao Zhao hot pot on Chunchi Road. It had a good atmosphere and reasonable prices, fitting Hecate's consumer habits. Zhao Qiang recognized her instantly. Dressed alluringly, looking far more mature than in her photos. They hit it off like old friends, sharing plenty of common topics. After the meal, Zhao Qiang invited her for a second round, but she politely declined. However, she wasn't opposed to meeting again. Hecate had successfully piqued his interest, but Zhao Qiang remained cautious, secretly investigating her background. First, her company. It was real, bustling with activity, not a shell corporation. Next, Her colleagues. This was trickier. Zhao Qiang bought the receptionist a few bubble teas. And that was that. Unexpectedly, Hecate was the sole heiress to an incredibly wealthy family in the Jiangsu Zhejiang Shanghai region. When Zhao Qiang learned this, dark intentions began to form. Zhao Qiang launched his offensive, and the two began dating. Hecate wasn't materialistic, which pleased him greatly. 2 weeks later, after his persistent begging, Hecate brought him to her apartment. It was a high-end luxury flat. 1 month's rent was her entire salary. Zhao Qiang wanted to stay the night, but Hecate refused, saying things were moving too fast. Just as he was disappointed, she initiated a kiss. Another 2 weeks passed, and Zhao Qiang finally conquered her. But Hecate's performance in bed made him suspicious. It was far too professional. Yet, blinded by beauty, Zhao Qiang didn't dwell on it. Her body intoxicated him, like a man who had tasted the richest marrow. Zhao Qiang's beautiful life was quickly shattered. Lately, Hecate seemed anxious, making frequent mistakes, which caught Zhao Qiang's attention. Every time he pressed her, she skillfully changed the subject. This only piqued his curiosity. Under his intense questioning, Hecate revealed the truth. A suitor had followed her to Rente. Zhao Qiang scoffed. I thought it was something serious. I'll go with you to meet him. It's not convenient. What? Am I not worthy? Hecate quickly explained. You're overthinking it. I can go by myself. Her attitude made Zhao Qiang even more insecure, fearing this cooked duck would fly away. Relax. It's my treat. Your treat? Do you even know where we're eating? Wherever it is, I'll pay. Tens of thousands of yuan? Do you have that? Tens of thousands? Zhao Qiang was stunned. What kind of meal costs that much? Hecate understood. Just offer to pay then. I'll cover it. Zhao Qiang was fiercely competitive. Hecate didn't want to embarrass him, so she reluctantly agreed. At the appointed time, Hecate picked him up in a Range Rover. Zhao Qiang's eyes lit up. He knew the car cost 2 or 3 million. He hadn't expected Hecate to wear light makeup just for this meal. A surge of jealousy hit him, and he swore to defeat his rival. After driving to Taikoo Li, Hecate drove directly onto the second-floor terrace. Zhao Qiang knew only those who spent at least 1 million yuan annually at Taikoo Li could park there. Hecate's resources were undeniable. Just then, a Rolls-Royce pulled up beside them, and a young fatty stepped out. The fatty walked straight to Hecate and gave her a tight hug. Hecate introduced Zhao Qiang. Zhao Qiang politely extended his hand, only to be met with the fatty's complete indifference. If Hecate hadn't been there, his temper would have made him punch the guy. They walked to the Tang Court restaurant. Seeing the Michelin 3-star black pearl emblem at the door, Zhao Qiang felt a flicker of apprehension. The three sat down, and Zhao Qiang took the menu and wine list. The fatty, without consulting them, rudely started ordering. Jade lobster with crab roe sauce. Grilled lamb chops. Buddha jumps over the wall with truffles. Salmon with mustard sauce. Lily bulb conch soup. Hecate saw he was still going and quickly stopped him. There are only 3 of us. That's enough. 3? Oh, I forgot. Waiter, add the fragrant pork. Is this bastard calling me a pig? Zhao Qiang was about to explode when he met the fatty's cold gaze and instantly felt intimidated. Hecate gently placated him. Brother Qiang, don't mind him. This dish isn't cheap. It was true. The head chef personally came to their table, preparing and introducing the dish. The fatty ordered Hecate a bottle of Dom Perignon. When he was about to order a Lafite, Hecate stopped him again. Fatty, are you trying to bankrupt me? A bottle of Chateau Bachevel will do. Zhao Qiang assumed the Bachevel was cheap, only to check the wine list and see that the 2 bottles, plus service fees, cost nearly 10,000 yuan. Hecate and the fatty chatted about the crypto world. Zhao Qiang couldn't get a word in, shifting awkwardly in his seat. He pieced it together. The fatty had made a fortune in crypto, his assets worth hundreds of millions. Hecate was also involved, having invested heavily. Zhao Qiang couldn't help but feel a stir of greed. After the feast, Hecate offered to pay, but the fatty stopped her. Seriously, Hecate, you usually pay? We're family. What's the difference? Zhao Qiang couldn't sit still any longer. He had to save face. He handed his credit card to the waiter. I'll pay. Finally, A smile cracked on the fatty's face. A message alert hit his phone. A charge of over 20,000 yuan. Zhao Qiang felt a pang of his chest. The fatty stood by, adding sarcastic commentary. Hi, it's been a while since I had such a cheap meal. It's only for you, I wouldn't even show up for anyone else. Zhao Qiang could clearly see the contempt in his eyes. In the parking lot, two beautiful girls stood by the fatty's Rolls Royce. When they saw him, they draped themselves over him. The fatty's eyes narrowed to slits as he climbed into the back. An arm around each, and arrogantly drove off. On the way back, Zhao Qiang cautiously asked about cryptocurrency. Hi didn't respond, making him anxious. When he pushed too hard, Hi finally told him, crypto investments are all leveraged. Ordinary people can't play this game at all. You can play, why can't I? You need at least 100,000 yuan just to open an account. What do you have to play with? Hi's words silenced him. The ride-hail driver chimed in. But investing in crypto really can make you a tycoon overnight. Zhao Qiang couldn't believe even the driver was bullshitting him and snapped. What the hell does a driver like you know? Young man, do you know the Ahui factory? Sure, what's it to you? Search it online. I used to be the boss of the Ahui factory. Zhao Qiang searched online. To his shock, it was true. I made 50 million yuan in crypto before, but I invested it elsewhere and lost everything. Why don't you get back into crypto? I don't have the capital. Do I? Why do you think I'm trying to save money? The words of the fatty, Hi, and the driver hit Zhao Qiang hard. He wanted to get rich. He wanted to invest in crypto. He knew Hi was trading. So while she was showering, he secretly opened her computer to check her account. Good God, there was over 5 million yuan inside. This discovery solidified his intention. Behind Hi's back, he illegally mortgaged the only house in his name. When Hi saw him carrying 2 bags full of cash, she was stunned. Zhao Qiang, are you insane? Put that money back. Zhao Qiang had been hesitating, but her words only strengthened his resolve. Seeing he was determined, Hi relented and gave him control of her account. The wild swings of the market were thrilling. After making a small profit, Zhao Qiang wanted to buy a sports car. Hi just smiled. Let's go. I'll take you to meet someone. Unexpectedly, the person was a beautiful woman named Na. But from start to finish, she never once looked Zhao Qiang in the eye. He silently swore he would make her pay. On the way home, Hi started badmouthing Na. She fought me for the campus heartthrob in college. Now that she's in Rente, I'll teach her a lesson. Zhao Qiang was immediately intrigued. You two were rivals? Is she even worthy? Did you win? I lost, but he didn't choose her either. Where is he now? Went abroad. How do you plan to get revenge? Hi's tone turned venomous. Find someone to rape her. For real? Absolutely, I'm planning to recruit online. That's illegal. I don't care, I just want her to suffer. Zhao Qiang was extremely interested in this topic. The next day, Hi took Zhao Qiang to Na's place. It was an apartment complex with lax security. Not safe at all. Zhao Qiang was taken aback when he saw a pair of men's slippers by the door. Na was clearly unenthusiastic about their sudden visit. In front of Zhao Qiang, Hi brought up their old conflicts. And Na didn't back down. The two traded barbs, their verbal spar heating up. Zhao Qiang used the excuse of needing the restroom and got up. He didn't notice the meaningful glance Hi and Na exchanged before they resumed their argument. In the bathroom, Zhao Qiang saw only one set of toiletries on the counter. It seemed the men's slippers were a deliberate deterrent. He came out, and the visit ended on bad terms. Back home, Zhao Qiang brought it up awkwardly. Last time, you mentioned finding someone to rape Na. How's that going? Hi replied immediately. The response was enthusiastic. Too many people, I have to screen them. And then? They have to show their talent. Talent? Of course. What kind of talent? Some said they'd wear a mask. Some said they'd leave a mark on the door. One guy said he'd carve the letter C next to Na's door. Wear a mask, and handle her. It's sick, but I love it. Really? Hi blushed. What could be more thrilling? Seeing how twisted Hi was, A bold idea formed in Zhao Qiang's mind. On a rainy night, a shadow appeared at Na's apartment. He skillfully avoided all the cameras and arrived at her door. Seeing no one around, he expertly pulled on a black mask. He took out a small knife, deftly carved the letter C beside the doorframe, then immediately pulled out a master key and opened the door. He crept into the room. Seeing the person on the bed fast asleep, his tense heart finally relaxed. To be safe, he tiptoed back to the door and double-locked it. Immediately, he stripped off all his clothes and slipped under the covers. The person in bed jolted awake. Struggling frantically, he showed no mercy, pressing a cold knife to the woman's throat. Under the threat, she stopped resisting, allowing him to rip off her clothes. Just as Zhao Qiang smugly believed he had succeeded, the room lights suddenly flashed on. Before Zhao Qiang could react, someone grabbed him by the hair and yanked him off the bed. Instantly, two people pinned him, driving their knees into his waist, twisting his arms behind his back. He struggled wildly, only for his arm to be brutally broken as handcuffs were snapped on. The mask was ripped from his face. He strained to look up, only to meet a pair of ice-cold eyes. "That's right, it was me, Zhao Qiang. We meet again." Zhao Qiang's mind reeled. This was a trap, set specifically for him. Who had this kind of power? Could it be Sun Qian's parents? Having experienced Zhao Qiang's methods, we put him in leg shackles this time to prevent escape. This was followed by collecting evidence at the scene, including the mask and the carved letter C. When Zhao Qiang saw the two hidden high-definition cameras in the hallway, he knew there was truly no escape. He was escorted into the police car, only to see some familiar faces in the next car. It was Hai, the fatty, and Na. Their cold eyes were as sharp as daggers. Even with the mountain of evidence, Zhao Qiang thrashed in desperation. His lawyer went to Hai's company to investigate, but the place was long gone, completely empty. He went to her apartment, only to find new tenants. The person named Hai had vanished as if she had never existed. Only then did he remember the 2 million yuan he had invested in crypto. With the person gone, how could he ever get his money back? Bad news kept coming, because he couldn't repay the loan. His house was sold off at a cheap price. This time, Zhao Qiang was completely cornered. When his lawyer learned of this, he disappeared too. At the station, we didn't relax for a moment. Zhao Qiang and 4 other men, all wearing the same type of mask, were lined up. The victims identified them from the other side of the glass. Every single one of them pointed directly at Zhao Qiang. The letter C he had carved at Na's door, after repeated analysis by handwriting experts, was confirmed to be a match with the letters from the other crime scenes, all written by the same person. The court convened. Zhao Qiang once again stood in the defendant's box. The police presented the mask he wore, the carved letter C and the victim identification videos. All the evidence proved that Zhao Qiang was the serial rapist. As for his claim of being framed, the court offered an explanation. The court identified him as the serial rapist based on 2 facts. First, the letter C left by the criminal at the victim's doors was professionally confirmed to be from the same hand. Second, the criminal wore the same distinct mask for every attack, besides the police investigators. Only the criminal himself would know that specific mask type. There was no coincidence. Whether he was framed or not was irrelevant to the nature of the case. Even if he was framed, as an adult, he possessed the ability to distinguish right from wrong. Regardless, he could not deny the fact that he was caught red-handed. Due to the severe nature of the crimes, including the permanent harm to one victim, Zhao Qiang was sentenced to life in prison. Zhao Qiang refused to accept the verdict and filed an appeal. The appellate court upheld the original judgment. As a convicted rapist, Zhao Qiang's life in prison was worse than death, enduring inhuman abuse. Even so, he didn't dare report it, knowing it would only make things worse. He finally collapsed in the bathroom and was discovered by a guard. Just as he recovered, more devastating news arrived. He had contracted AIDS. Only then did he think of Hai. No wonder she was so professional in bed. She was a sex worker. She had intentionally slept with him, infected him. By the time he realized it, it was too late. The wheel of karma turns for all. Heaven spares no one. Everything Zhao Qiang had endured was, indeed, a trap. The mastermind wasn't Sun Qian's parents. It was Na Na. Na Na was the adopted daughter of the Sun family. Her excellent grades had earned her a scholarship to study abroad. She only learned the devastating news after returning. Zhao Qiang knew the law inside and out. Exploiting its loopholes, she had no choice but to meticulously set this trap, vowing to get justice for Sun Qian and the other victims. First, she found someone with AIDS through the hospital, Hecate. She offered to fund Hecate's medical treatment abroad on the condition that Hecate did her a favor. After understanding the situation, Hecate readily agreed. The fan group, the company, all of it was fabricated for Zhao Qiang. Step 1. Hecate built an image to lure Zhao Qiang in and infect him with AIDS. Step 2. Find a way to bankrupt him. The fatty's appearance deeply provoked Zhao Qiang, and combined with his desire to get rich quick, he chose to mortgage his assets for crypto. He would die never knowing that Hecate was using a demo account, not real trading. The original plan was for Hecate to intentionally lose money on the demo account, tempting Zhao Qiang to steal the cash in her apartment. Once he stole it, Hecate would report him, landing him in jail for a few years. But Zhao Qiang wanted to play the long game, so Na Na had to step in personally. She pretended to be Hecate's rival, sparking Hecate's desire for revenge
story on
against
Hecate
her.
Audio.
Coincidentally, Hecate's revenge fantasy perfectly matched Zhao Qiang's own perversions. Na Na's beauty, and her obvious disgust for him, successfully ignited Zhao Qiang's desire for retribution. Furthermore, Na Na lived alone, and her living situation fit Zhao Qiang's criteria perfectly. Just like that, Zhao Qiang walked step by step into the trap Na Na had set for him. After it was all over, Na Na disbanded the fan group and shut down the shell company. She fulfilled her promise to Hecate, letting her escape with the stolen money and erasing all traces. Even if it were discovered, the people wouldn't report it, so the officials wouldn't investigate. Zhao Qiang was ruined and rotting in prison. Who would pay any attention to him, right? Na Na contacted me through Sun Qian's parents, thanking me for backing the Sun family. My presence was a key reason why Zhao Qiang didn't dare touch Sun Qian's parents. Regarding this matter, I also felt deep regret. If Sun Qian hadn't been so blinded by love, Zhao Qiang would have been punished by the law long ago. Instead, her blind confidence ruined not only herself but also her parents. When Na Na first proposed her idea, I was extremely worried, afraid she would be harmed. But Na Na had experience in places where guns were common. She had handled more firearms than I had as a police officer. I agreed to help, but on one condition: she had to prioritize her safety. Na Na's performance exceeded my expectations. She manipulated Zhao Qiang into wearing the mask and leaving that crucial evidence on the door, both vital pieces to confirm he was the serial rapist. Unbeknownst to me, Na Na had also installed infrared cameras in the hallway in her room, recording Zhao Qiang's entire process. Na Na deserved significant credit for solving this case. In the end, I was the one who received the main commendation. This case taught me that criminals aren't just cunning. They understand the law. I have to keep up. Young people like Na Na have great potential. The future is theirs to shape.